Welcome to the vlog. Today is Saturday, February 4th. This is day one of me trying the carnivore-ish version of the low FODMAP diet. Even though I was extremely sick this entire week, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm not, and I'm just gonna eat solid foods, and I'm gonna see if this helps. So let me show you what I'm having for breakfast. So this is 3 eggs cooked in butter with a little bit of cheddar cheese on top, which is lactose free. I'm about to add a little bit of this low FODMAP salsa, and we'll see how this goes for breakfast. Well, that was very delicious. So it has been 2 hours since I had the eggs. It's now noon. I had the eggs around 10. Well, I finished them at 10. So it is 2 hours since I finished the eggs. And the nausea is so bad. I feel like at any moment I could just throw up, which is why I'm not looking super great right now. I'm going to have this Zofran. I'm gonna do this diet. I'm going to do this diet, but I'm very suspicious that it's going to make my nausea way worse because high-fat foods tend to make my nausea last way longer than it normally does when I eat lower-fat foods. And additionally, I'm suspicious that I'll eat less calories doing this because higher-fat foods, I stay full a lot longer, and I'm just worried. But I said I would do this diet. It's the only diet I haven't tried. It's low FODMAP to the extreme. It's basically no FODMAP, and I'm freaking doing it. Take the Zofran. Let me take this. Sorry if the shot is shaky. I know I'm shaking. I don't feel good, and I'm just gonna try to hopefully feel better soon. So it's been an hour since I took the Zofran, and it's not helping, and I've been dry heaving the eggs. So I really don't want to throw up the eggs, because if I threw up the eggs, that would be terrible, because throwing up eggs is not a good time. I don't know if y'all have done this or experienced throwing up eggs, but it's like a terrible time. For some reason, for the past few days, whenever I eat solids, I have been dry heaving. It happened Thursday night, which I talked about in the last video. It happened last night. I had a handful of popcorn and some apple juice, and I threw up the apple juice, and then I dry heaved the popcorn the entire night. Might be too little too late on this whole carnivore diet thing, but I'm gonna do it. I committed to it. I'm gonna freaking do it, even if I suffer for the entire however long that I do this. This is how much I committed to this, y'all. The entire freezer is prepped for this. This is all bone broth, all that in the freezer. And then those 2 bags are 2 bags of cooked low FODMAP seasoned chicken thighs that we put here for future meals. So the freezer is like ready for this. And then we have 2 things of eggs in the fridge. And then what's down there is those are both full of brisket that we put a spice rub on last night. That's cheese in the cheese drawer. These are all the spices that we used on that low FODMAP brisket, because we had to find like a spice combination that was low FODMAP. So it's like all of these random spices. I have no idea if it's gonna taste good, but there we are. Well, I just threw up some of the eggs, and it was just as terrible as I told you it would be. This is not a good time. Okay, so it is now almost 4 p.m. and I have not eaten anything today besides my breakfast at 10, so I need to eat something, and I will. I'm gonna take some of the chicken out of the freezer that we already cooked and heat up in the microwave. Yeah, as you can see, this chicken is cooked with just salt and some Italian seasoning, but it's very frozen. And I made a bunch, so hopefully I can have this later on in the week as well. Or next week, rather. Alrighty, so we have the chicken and some more low FODMAP salsa, and this is gonna be my lunch.
Anyways, how was lunch, babe?
Lunch was good. The chicken heated up really well. It dried out a little bit, but I like my chicken kind of dry, so I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'm about done, so we're going to cook this low FODMAP brisket. But mostly Robert's gonna cook it, and I'm mostly gonna watch. And it means we can finally use the bone broth that I literally spent all weekend obsessing over. This was my obsession all weekend to get this, and we get to use it in a low FODMAP recipe. Hopefully many more, but we only need 1 cube, so we have to find a way to thaw just the 1 cube. Decided to use this butter knife. Oh dang, I think it's gonna pop right out actually. Wow. What a testament to the cube system. The rest of this just goes back in the freezer for another day. And we're gonna microwave this for our recipe.
You remember how we kissed in the kitchen as the coffee pours. By the end my face was sore from your stubble, but I still wanted more. And all
Do like a 2 minute each side. Yeah, we're getting nice braids on that one.
where we're going, I don't care. I'm just so glad that you were there that night in the restaurant. because I got to say, so I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do? So I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do now? Make me feel loved and treasured. You are water in the desert, my fox, my missing puzzle piece. You make me feel loved, protected. Boy, we could talk forever on the couch, sipping bourbon, please. And in the morning we will start up the French press. I'll be thinking to myself, how did I get so lucky? Your heart is sweet like honey. And in the evenings when we settle in bed, it's like you're in my head. How did I get so lucky? So I'll say it again and again. So I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do? So I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do now? Make me feel loved and treasured. You are water in the desert, my fox, my missing puzzle. You make me feel loved, protected. Boy, we could talk forever on the couch, sipping bourbon, please. Making out in the back of that Prius, no bites in there to interrupt. Your favorite spot,
Yeah, the oven preheated to 300.
Sometimes you take my breath away. Hope I never forget to say.
I'm gonna go for 2.5 hours
So
and it's gonna turn
I'm in love with
temperature
you.
180.
What are we gonna do? So I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do?
So right now we are reducing down the sauces. Basically just the meat drippings and all the wine and broth and all the herbs that were in there.
You want to add some fresh herbs?
We could add some fresh herbs, I guess.
They said that you might want to add some extra rosemary, but I think we're out of rosemary.
We're out of rosemary, so I'm not sure that we need to really add anything. Because sage and thyme are really strong and they were cooked in there.
Yeah.
So we're reducing the sauces down and the meat is cooked. And we took the big chunks of herbs out.
Yeah, but we're just letting it rest.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going good. Robert and I both tasted it and it actually tastes good. We were very worried the spices were not going to work, but the spices actually worked. So we have made something good here.
Yep.
So we're kind of disappointed by the marketing of the recipe because it's like supposed to be a pomegranate rosemary thing. And there's like barely any rosemary in this whole thing. And the sauces are mostly just meat drippings and red wine with a little bit of bone broth and a teeny bit of pomegranate juice and a lot of spices. And the sauces just don't taste good, unfortunately. So we are gonna go get some barbecue sauce that is low FODMAP and just eat that with this brisket for dinner, which turned out really, really well.
Yeah, I think we overshot it. I think we cooked it a little bit higher than we should have, and then it was thinner, so it heated up faster.
We did overcook it a little, I will give this that,
Yeah, but it's a little denser than you'd want it to be, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. So it's 8 o'clock right now. Robert is at the Wegmans getting some barbecue sauce for the brisket and also some bread because he wants to make brisket sandwiches. I just threw up again and it was especially disgusting because it was the chicken that has been in my stomach since 3:34 when I ate it. I finished it at 4. So it's now like 8:30. So it's been in my stomach for 4.5 hours. So it's especially disgusting because it's meat that's been in my stomach for 4.5 hours. I don't know. I'm not sure this carnivore diet thing is going to work if I can't digest the meat or anything that I'm eating. I'm probably not going to have any brisket after this incident, but I'm sure Robert will have it and I'm sure he'll enjoy it. I'll probably have some tomorrow. I'm not going to have any tonight because of what just happened. It was disgusting. Let me show you what my calories are today. I think this will be indicative of the fact this is not really working.
So anyways, looking at the FODMAP It's not to be shaken. Tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, water, organic cane sugar, molasses, horseradish, sea salt, smoke flavor, black pepper. Shake before using. Okay, so anyways, and then we got Martin's potato bread.
Okay, so I got my little Calorie app and I had to like go in there and edit it because I'd already logged what I thought I was gonna eat for dinner because I was like excited that I was gonna eat the brisket and I figured about how much I'd probably be able to eat and I just had to unlog it. I didn't eat any of the brisket. I had a teeny little nibble of brisket. That's all I had. So these are the calories. I don't know if you can see, but we're at 700 and it's literally like half fat, half protein. Yeah, it's not good. Yesterday was heavier carbs and I was really sick yesterday, so I didn't eat that much. I ate a lot less than 1,200 calories, but it's still more than today. It's 1,900. Well, not 1,900. That'd be great. It was 917. So still below 1,000, but it's better than today. Yeah, I don't know about this carnivore diet, just considering I'll try it again tomorrow, but if my calories stay that low, I can't keep my calories that low because when I am allowing myself to eat sugar and fruit juice and higher FODMAP things, like ice cream, like I showed in my vlogs from the other week before I made the bone broth and got really sick and all that whole jazz back when I was having a good food week and I was able to eat ice cream and that kind of stuff. My calories were way higher and maybe that stuff isn't good for the gut, but I think the experience today definitely convinces me more that this is not a gut thing. This is a gastroparesis thing and a motility thing. And we can talk about this more tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it's Sunday morning, the 5th of February. I'm not making eggs. I'm not making eggs so that I can throw them up again. I don't want to eat eggs. And the thing about eating the eggs is I was nauseous from when I first took a bite, but then I was able to kind of push through it. I worked on some YouTube stuff. And then after 2 hours after eating the eggs, I was incredibly nauseous. And I took the Zofran and it didn't really help. I took the Zofran and then a couple hours later I threw up the eggs. Because I was so nauseous. I literally was so nauseous from the eggs that I could not even feel like I could move for a couple hours. And I don't want to go through that again. I handled the chicken better until I threw it up 4 hours later. But I think the reason I handled the chicken better is because it was lower in fat and it was less amount of food. I only ate 2 small chicken thighs, which was about 250 calories, 280 calories. So that's a good bit less than breakfast, which was like 450 calories or 443 calories. And then a lot more fat in the eggs and the cheese. So I can see why I handled the chicken a bit better until I threw it up. So anyway, we're going back to liquids. We're going back to Cape Farms. Honestly, so it's just all I want right now is something that I can actually digest, even though I still have pain and nausea from these. Like, I don't usually throw them up as easily as I have been solid food this past week, and the past few days, especially when I tried to eat solid food. All these diets and all these things that I've tried to fix this, they just reinforce the idea this is my fault, and I know this isn't my fault. And with gut issues, everyone has their own theory on how to heal it. And if it was just SIBO, this probably would have worked, but it's not just SIBO, and we don't even know if it is SIBO. Everything low FODMAP that I've tried, and this is an extreme version of low FODMAP that I tried yesterday, all the low FODMAP diets that I've tried are for SIBO. And I don't even know if I still have SIBO. And we all know at this point that SIBO is the smallest issue of my issues with the whole slow intestine thing and the likely gastroparesis thing, which if I'm throwing up food after 4.5 hours of eating it, then I think we have a pretty good sign this is gastroparesis, huh? I think at some point this year I need to retake the gastric emptying scan and see what comes of it. But this is not my fault. And all these diets thinking that I can cure myself just reinforces the idea this is my fault. And it was so stupid of me to be like, I should cut out all the foods that I'm tolerating and just do this meat-based thing because that'll fix me, when I tolerate these and I tolerate fruit juice. And I even tolerate ice cream. Like, I tolerate high FODMAP foods. It's the high fat foods like this that I tolerate almost all foods in moderation except for nuts, legumes, fruits, and raw vegetables. I tolerate all other foods in moderation. I know what my triggers are at this point. I don't know why I thought. It's great to have prepped meat in the house. Robert is going to have brisket sandwiches for days, and he's excited about it. It's great to have prepped chicken in the house because I hate cooking it, and now we have it prepped. It's great to have homemade bone broth. It is great. I can cook with that stuff. I can make dinners with that stuff. I'm excited to do high protein dinners. That'll be fun. We'll probably still do low FODMAP dinners. Robert is down with that. We have all these low FODMAP cookbooks from last year that I bought we don't use. I will get out those cookbooks. We will make low FODMAP dinners. But during the day, we're going to stick with the faithful. And also at this point, I really need all the nutrients that these are fortified with. And I'm probably going to drink some liquid IVs today too, because I don't feel good at all. And I will talk to y'all in the next vlog.